Yeah.
You have been fighting it with medicine. You have been fighting it by talking to a friend. You have been fighting it by not fighting it and surrendering. Make me a ruby, hold me up to the sun, melt me into one. Make me a ruby, hold me up to the sun, melt me into one. Readiness, and I won't be depressed. Know that I'm the alchemist. I'm the alchemist. I'm the alchemist. I'm the alchemist. I have been fighting it too with caffeine. I have been fighting it too with my lover's hands over me. I look to my eccentricities to deliver me. Make me a ruby, hold me up to the sun, melt me into one. Make me a ruby, hold me up to the sun, melt me into one. Readiness, and I won't be depressed. Know that I'm the alchemist. I'm the alchemist. I'm the alchemist. I'm the alchemist. I'm riding in a wagon, laughing into the sunset. I'm laughing in a wagon, riding through the darkness. Know that I'm the alchemist. 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 Make me a ruby, hold me up to the sun.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Steve Seek, and I'm honored to serve as your ministerial intern. Our opening words this morning are from Thich Nhat Hanh's book, The Miracle of Mindfulness. Pay no attention to your order of service. Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh writes, "If, while washing dishes, we think only of the cup of tea that awaits us, thus hurrying to get the dishes out of the way as if they were a nuisance, then we are not washing the dishes to wash the dishes. What's more, we are not alive during the time that we are washing the dishes. In fact, we are completely incapable of realizing the miracle of life while standing at the sink. If we can't wash the dishes, the chances are we won't be able to drink our tea either. While drinking the cup of tea, we will only be thinking of other things, barely aware of the cup in our hands. Thus, we are sucked away into the future, and we are incapable of actually living 1 minute of life. Will you please rise in body or in spirit and join in singing hymn number 83, Winds Be Still.
Good morning. I am Reverend Kimberly Tomchek Carlson, your Minister of Religious Education with a very long name. And the story I have for you today is called, What Does It Mean to Be Present? And it's by Reina Dioria. What does it mean to be present? Does it mean just showing up in class or church? No. Does it mean sharing something at show and tell? No. Does it mean wrapping yourself up like a present? No. Being present means listening carefully when other people are speaking. Look at you all winning on being present right now. Noticing when someone needs help and taking the time to give them the help they need. Focusing on what's happening now instead of what's happening next. Appreciating what you have, even if what someone else has seems better. Waiting patiently for your turn. Treating each new experience as an opportunity. And understanding that making mistakes is how we learn and grow. Being present is being grateful for your family and your friends and telling them so. Savoring each bite of delicious food. cuddling with your puppy or cat and enjoying how soft and wriggly they feel. Relishing the warmth of the sun and the sound of the rain. Feeling the sand between your toes, watching the rolling waves, smelling the briny seaweed, listening to the cawing seagulls, and tasting the ocean's salty spray. Allowing the rhythm of your breath in and out, and in and out, to make you feel peaceful. And closing your eyes and being still enough to hear your inner voice. Being present means living in the moment. It means realizing that yesterday is history and tomorrow is a mystery. And today, well, today is a gift. And that's really why we call it the present. So tell your friends what it means to be present. And spread the word. When we're all in the present, life can be much richer and fuller and happier. The end.
I invite you now into a time of meditation, which will be followed by silence, followed by the seated singing of Spirit of Life. Today we will be sitting with the quiet longer than usual. So find a comfortable position. Feel where your body makes contact with the seat. Feel your breath moving in and out. Soften your gaze or close your eyes if you like. Imagine that your mind is a big, beautiful blue sky. As we sit in contemplation for these next few moments, I encourage you to let whatever thoughts arise in your mind be like clouds that pass by. You cannot judge a cloud or remove a cloud. You can merely observe it passing by.
Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Society of Milwaukee. I'm Liz Irwin Moore, and it's my honor to serve as your worship associate this morning. We are a faith community of many identities. We welcome people of all genders, sexualities, ages, races, ethnicities, histories, and bodies. I'm trying to memorize that list of 7, but I'm not quite there yet. We welcome your mind, your heart, and your spirit. We welcome all you are carrying with you today and all your heart longs to set down. We also welcome people watching online as we live stream this service, so hello out there. We enthusiastically welcome any guests joining us today. If you're a guest, we invite you to fill out a welcome card, which you'll find in the pew rack in front of you, and drop it in the offering plate that will come around in a few minutes. After the service, please join us in the Leanhouse Common Room for a social hour. It's that way. Some notes regarding accessibility. You can find hearing assist devices, as well as large print hymnals and orders of service at the back of the sanctuary, as well as worship activity bags for children and anyone else who would like one. There's a fragrance-free area in the right front pews. And if you're watching online, you can enable YouTube's closed captioning on your device. I have 2 announcements. First, join the First Church Jingle Bus this Friday, December 6th at 6:15 p.m. to ooh and ah at the Winter Wonderland scenes scattered throughout downtown. Sign up for the Jingle Bus in the Common Room today. And the second announcement, be sure to pick up your Holiday Giving Tree gift tag today to support children and youth who may otherwise go without this holiday season. Gifts are due back to the church on December 18th. Now I invite you to share in our First Church worship and purpose by joining me in an unison affirmation of our mission, which is printed in your order of service. We gather to nurture the spirit, engage the mind, and inspire action. Each week we have an opportunity to practice our values through sharing our resources. Our pledges are at the core of our spiritual practice of generosity. In addition, the church shares half of all the non-pledge cash in our offering plate with a community organization practicing our value of interdependence. Today, we share the plate with Eastside Senior Services. The offering will now be gratefully received as we sing, while seated, our children's recessional hymn, number 1031 in the teal hymnal. I invite all children, youth, and RE volunteers to sing the first verse of the hymn and then follow Reverend Kimberly to the Leanhouse Common Room and then downstairs for religious education. If your child needs to check in for RE, please accompany them. May the practice of giving bring us joy.
Friendly reminder. First verse we'll sing I. Second time around we'll replace that with you. Third time around we'll replace you with we.
This is an excerpt from Meditation for Fidgety Skeptics, a 10% Happier How-To book by Jeff Warren. Here are some key attributes of the voice in my head. I suspect they will sound familiar. It, the voice, is often fixated on the past and future at the expense of whatever is happening right now. The voice loves to plan, plot, and scheme. It's always making lists or rehearsing arguments or drafting tweets. One moment it has you fantasizing about some halcyon past or Elysian future. Another moment you're rueing old mistakes or catastrophizing about some not yet arrived events. As Mark Twain is reputed to have said, some of the worst things in my life never even happened. The voice is insatiable. The default mental condition for too many human beings is dissatisfaction. Under the sway of the ego, nothing is good enough. We're always on the hunt for the next dopamine hit. We hurl ourselves headlong from one cookie, one promotion, one party to the next. And yet a great many of us are never fully sated. How many meals, movies, and vacations have you enjoyed? And are you done yet? Of course not. The voice is unrelievedly self-involved. We are all the stars of our own movies, whether we cast ourselves as hero, victim, black hat, or all three. True, we can get temporarily sucked into other people's stories, but often as a means of comparing ourselves to them. Everything ultimately gets subordinated to the one plot line that matters, the story of me.
That we are born.
Patrick has a beautiful brain. He has a complete access to everything in his past. I mean, you want Patrick on your trivia team. He can tell you about the Peace of Augsburg in 1555. He can whistle the opening theme to Mendelssohn's Fourth Symphony. Patrick can tell a crystal clear story of the Christmas in 1989 when he asked for a Philadelphia Eagles jersey. That was it. That was the only thing on his list, and he didn't get it. He still remembers. Michael is wonderful to hang out with. Michael has no agenda. He's just there, going with the flow. He savors each bite when you're out to eat with him. When you go to the party, Michael's the one that dances like no one's watching. And when you leave the party, Michael never fails to look up at the night sky with wonder. Now, Patrick's big brain doesn't just get stuck in the past. He uses it to analyze and forecast the future as well. I love talking with Patrick about upcoming cabinet appointments or the future of Bitcoin. I never worry about where Patrick's going because I know that Patrick has a 5-year plan and a backup 5-year plan and a backup 5-year plan. But when I'm getting a cup of tea, I'll go out with Michael anytime. He holds that space beautifully. With Michael, I feel deeply listened to. I think part of it is that Michael is so settled in his own body, so comfortable, it radiates. I feel more settled around Michael. The thing about Patrick that most of you don't know is that he's actually unhappy most of the time. He worries a lot. Patrick wakes up in the middle of the night thinking about climate change and the world that he's leaving the next generation. Patrick will ruminate about a fight he had in his childhood while he's grocery shopping. Patrick tends to get impatient and unforgiving and then regrets that and relives it. Now, I love Michael, do not get me wrong, but he's not useful in all circumstances. When you're trying to plan a big event, his whole present moment vibe is not helpful. Sometimes I think that Michael's forgetting to buy toilet paper for next week or refilling next month's prescriptions. Do you identify with either of these? I wonder. Maybe you identify with Michael. I'm putting my money on Patrick. There's no one right answer. This month of December, yes, we are officially in December, we are exploring the spiritual practice of presence. What does it mean to be present in a given moment? And for that, I love the Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh's example of mindful presence. When you're washing the dishes, wash the dishes. Like so many Zen teachings, it sounds easier than it is. What he means is do not get lost in the past. While you're scrubbing the plate, you're thinking about a meeting earlier in the week. While you're rinsing out that cup, you're thinking about what needs to happen 2 days from now. Thich Nhat Hanh is saying that you can spend every present moment not in it and spend your entire life never living your life. Well, as your ministerial intern, I have a field report. I tried this week. I tried doing the dishes to do the dishes. It's boring. It's so boring. Now, this is with no disrespect to the Zen master, but I'm not sure if he was aware of this particular extenuating circumstance. My thoughts are far more interesting than this plate. They're way more interesting. Here is a sampling of thoughts that arose for me while doing the dishes. What was the name of my 7th grade jazz band teacher? I cannot think of it. I cannot wait for my wife to get home because I just read this book in seminary that I need to talk with her about because it changes everything about everything. Was it Miss Hardiman? No, it wasn't Miss Hardiman. It was something with an H. Anyways, oh, there's my wife. Let me start telling you about this book. And I realize I've been talking for 10 minutes, so I'm going to stop and ask you how your day went. Helleman? No, that's not right. And no, I'm hearing what you're saying, and that reminds me of a book that I read 2 weeks ago that I want to talk with you about. Wait, what was the book that... Holloman. It was Miss Holloman. Anyways, back to you. What was that book that you were telling me about? Oh, I was talking about books. What were you talking about? Gosh, that sounds like a hard day. And on, and my mind is hopping from thought to thought to thought. And Buddhist teachers call this monkey brain. Monkey brain. It is not a new global disease. It is the oldest of human conditions. It is the experience of watching the monkey in your brain hopping from thought to thought to thought, never staying perched on any branch for any duration of time. And I have a feeling I'm not the only one with a monkey in his mind. Perhaps you observed this when you were seated in meditation. I suggested that your mind was a big, beautiful cloud, a beautiful sky, and that thoughts might be clouds passing by. And I wonder if you had an overcast sky, possibly a storm. That's okay. Having a monkey brain means that you are a human. That is your Patrick at work. All of those thoughts rattling around is the Patrick in you. Great at remembering, great at analyzing, pretty good at forecasting, but really bad at being present. According to the stories, the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, was raised with every need taken care of in the palace, never experiencing suffering. And when he first discovered the presence of suffering, he sought out to understand the causes of suffering. So he went on a journey. In over 6 years of ascetic practices, he learned to withdraw from the need for food or water or people or comforts or entertainments or distractions until completely unattached to these transient things, he arrived at a Bodhi tree after 6 years of practice and sat under that tree for 49 days in deep meditation until he was enlightened to the causes of suffering. If that schedule doesn't work for you, I have some good news. If you're looking at your Outlook calendar and you don't have 6 years and 49 days, try this in December. Sitting with your thoughts for 5 minutes, or 10, or 20. If you're already doing that, keep on. But most of us aren't doing that, and we don't want to. We don't want to because we don't like what we find when we sit there with our thoughts. We find monkeys jumping around. That's exactly why you should do it. It's why I do yoga every week, is because I'm horrendously inflexible. And as soon as I say this, I recognize that 5 of you in coffee hour are going to tell me, now there's no such thing as winning at yoga, it's about your practice. To which I'll say, that's what I'm talking about. Sitting with your thoughts, as bananas as they might be. The first time I tried meditating, I thought, this will be easy. This will be so easy. All I have to do is think of nothing. And so there I sat and discovered a whole primate exhibit. I had multiple monkeys up there. And I cannot tell you how liberating it was. Because up until that point in my life, I thought I had a clear mind. And suddenly I was confronted with the fact that there were multiple people driving the car, and rarely was I the one attending to what I was saying and doing. As Jeff Warren points out, getting lost and starting over is not failing at meditation, it is succeeding. When you are unaware of the ceaseless inner talk fest, It can control and deceive you. The ego's terrible suggestions often come to the party dressed up as common sense. End quote. I thought I was making calm, grounded decisions, but in fact, the primate exhibit in my mind was running the show. Patrick is magnificent at problem solving, but being present in the moment, that's something we need Michael for. Presence is about attention, what we choose to attend to. And if we don't listen to our thoughts, we don't know what we're choosing. I am choosing to attend to the political situation in our nation and our world right now. My eyes and ears are wide open. But it is easy for me in those moments to find myself awake in the middle of the night, ruminating about what will come to pass. That is not attending to Americans' democracy, because I am not doing community activism in my bed at 3 a.m., nor is it attending to my spiritual and physical wellness because I'm not sleeping at 3 a.m. It is anxiety. And 3 a.m. is too late for me to call Michael and say, I need you to tag in. I need to train the Patrick part of my brain to take a break during the day, to give Michael a few 3-minute shifts so I can develop the muscle of being present in that moment. Now, for many of us, Patrick is awake at 3 a.m. because Patrick has never stopped working our whole lives. And that's a sobering thought. You could be 100 years old and never be present for any of it. By giving the present moment attention while I wash the dishes, I can give myself and my community the attention it needs. Patrick is not the person I want taking the lead when I'm having a cup of tea with someone. That's where Michael shines. If you are trying to tell me about a challenge in your marriage and I'm planning my grocery list in my head, I'm not living into my values and I'm missing the gift of being a compassionate presence with you. I cannot be an instrument of peace if I'm lost in some other time or space. Let me say it this way. In my chaplaincy training, I never met a hospice patient who said they wished they'd worried more. In Patrick's defense, because it feels like I'm lumping on him right now, you have to develop planning and forecasting and remembering in order to grow up. It's called executive functioning, and we'd be sunk without it. I've raised little kids, and when they don't have it, living from moment to moment, it's exhausting. What a gift it is to have these big, beautiful Patrick brains. We can access our pasts. We can reimagine old conflicts like a kaleidoscope. What if I had done this differently? What if they had done this differently? We can learn from that. We can plot on a graph all of these patterns in our life and draw a slope and go, oh, I notice this about myself. It is a gift to archive the past that way. We can learn. Patrick's way of thinking, this analysis, this forecasting, this remembering, is innate and encultured. It's innate in the sense that it comes to us naturally and it keeps us alive. It's encultured in the sense that it is deeply valued in contemporary American society and it is rewarded. Patrick is the highly effective person. Patrick is the person who gets good grades and has a job and has a plan. Patrick has a Roth IRA. Michael's way of being is a spiritual practice. Presence is a practice that helps us thrive, not just survive, but live that moment. It helps us to authentically connect with one another. Presence is a counter-cultural practice in the world we live in, because it places more value on relationship than on productivity. presence is a counter-cultural practice because it values relationship over productivity. I need Patrick to survive in this world. But I need to listen to Michael more if I'm going to attend to my life and be a compassionate presence to others. Just to be clear, these are not real people. You're like, who's the Patrick and Steve's life? So let us this December build our capacity to listen to Michael and be present this December. If it helps, if you feel daunted by the idea of sitting with your thoughts, remember that among all the functions of your big, beautiful brain, the first is to orient you to the world you live in. So you can always come back to your thoughts by remembering your senses. Do you smell the candles? Did you hear the blower come on during meditation? Did you hear the, what do you call it, the hop? The shuttle that drove by? If you attend to the senses that you experience on your skin, and your nose, and your fingers and toes, it will bring you back to that moment. Presence is a hard spiritual practice to cultivate. It would be more satisfying for me to put this off as a New Year's resolution. December is always chaotic. Let's just take this January 1st. It's a good New Year's resolution. But then I realized, you know what they say? There is no time like the present.
I thought you were the sun. Like flowers we turn to you, your warmth for everyone. Now it's black every morning, it's black every night. You still rise. You can make someone who loves you back, and we're all here for so few years anyway. Still it's black every morning, it's black every night. You still rise. You can make
Thank you, thank you, thank you. May you have the courage to say hello to the monkeys jumping around in your head. May you have the grace to return to your center and the peace to experience the gift of this present moment. Go in peace and presence. And now please rise in body or spirit as Anne Heaton teaches us, Hymn of Hope. Anne.
Thank you. So I'll play through the first verse so you can hear it, and then we can start all over together at the beginning. I carry hope in my heart, even when I don't feel hope. I decide to make a home in my heart. Even as the darkness sets, I do my best so I can rest